movement. This is my daughter Caitlyn, and she'll be playing the ukulele along with me. This is also a ukulele, just a little bit different looking. But I just wanted to say I'm going to keep this very brief because I want to get a look inside that thing. Ever since I was a little kid, I've only been able to peer through the windows. I've never been able to see inside the teapot, so I want to get over there and get a closer look. But as most of you know, I love local history, but I don't often get the chance to be a part of it, as Randy said. About 10 years ago, I took my son Christian to the Frick Art Museum in Pittsburgh to hear a local history author, Brian Butko, talk about the Lincoln Highway. And at the end of his presentation, he opened it up for questions, and I raised my hand first, and I pointed out the world's largest teapot on the cover of his book. And I said, "I grew up with the teapot." And everybody around me started laughing, but I didn't think that was funny. But they laughed. But to me, it simply proved the old adage that you can take the boy out of the small town, but you can't take the world's largest teapot out of the boy. So I've written, I've written 2 books. One is about Rock Springs Park, and the other is about Latrobe. And the teapot actually has something to do with both of those stories. The teapot is now sitting on land that used to be part of Rock Springs Park. This was the trolley turnaround, the lower park entrance right here. Of course, C.A. Smith's beautiful home on the hill, the owner of Rock Springs Park. But I've also written 2 songs in my life, and the Teapot Song is only the second. The first I wrote 2 years ago for a celebration for the Banana Split Festival in Latrobe, Pennsylvania. I was researching a book about local legends of Latrobe, and I went into the Historical Society, opened up a folder, and there was a picture of the world's largest teapot in Latrobe's Historical Society. And I was completely floored. I'm like, "That's the teapot I grew up with. What's that doing in here?" And she said, "Oh, Doc Strickler invented the banana split. He had the teapot first. He's the one that bought it as a barrel, put the windows and doors in it, and put it into his miniature golf course at his house. He tore up all the landscaping and built this 18-hole miniature golf course. Then they had a contest to name the golf course, and everybody voted for Big Barrel Links. So the Big Barrel started out in Latrobe, Pennsylvania, and then that was in 1931. In 1938, Wilfred Babe Devon bought the barrel, brought it to Chester, added the handle and spout, and dubbed it the world's largest teapot. Now, as Randy mentioned, the teapot has been renovated several times. It was rescued from near collapse in 1990, got a massive makeover in 2007 by Hampton Hotels, was repainted in 2011 by John Rayner for an Eagle Scout project. But I want to add my sincere gratitude to Susan Hyman and her team for the recent restoration project. I think they've done an excellent job, and she looks beautiful. Now, I was so inspired by their work and a little prodding from Mary Lawrence that I wrote a song about the teapot, and Caitlyn and I are here to sing it. I just wanted to say my dad is here in the audience, and whenever we come to visit Grandma Marg and Pop Cliff, when the kids were little, and I still have some little children, they always ask me, not "Are we there yet?" but "How far to the teapot?" I don't know if you've ever heard that, because they know when they see the teapot, they're almost to Grandma Marg's house. So here's a fun fact to consider while Caitlyn and I get set up here. I read that the teapot was built with the capacity of 400,000 cups of tea. That's enough tea to give 1 cup of tea to every person living in Cleveland, Ohio, and still have 3,185 cups left to spare. Now that's a lot of tea, even for a Browns fan. All right, so here's our Teapot Song. Watch me. in my town, turning frowns upside down. I know you're thinking that's no big deal, but this old teapot's world renowned. So you've got to hear me out. She's got a handle and a spout, but she also has 5 windows and a door. Not your teapot, short and stout. There's a teapot in my town, spreading smiles all around. I know you're thinking that's no big deal, but this old teapot's world renowned. Started life as a keg, but soon her story took on legs. Old Big Devin brought her to his pottery store, a round hole and a square peg. There's a teapot in my town, turning frowns upside down. I know you're thinking that's no big deal, but this old teapot's world renowned. Well, just like Noah and his ark, they worked all day and through the dark. A familiar shape began to appear, and tin covered all the bark. There's a teapot in my town, bringing folks from miles around. I know you're thinking that's no big deal, but this old teapot's world renowned. When the town began to hum, what's Babe doing with that big drum? Come on, babe, tell us what's it for? Why, selling hot dogs, pop and gum. There's a teapot in my town, bringing folks from miles around. I know you're thinking that's no big deal, but this old teapot's world renowned. Last verse. Then they all began to see Babe was making his story. Turned a barrel into a roadside stand, and now it's just our cup of tea. Turning heads on Route 30, and it was made for you and me. World's largest teapot in history. Thank you. Enjoy the day.